back to my channel. Today I'll be doing a makeup tutorial using the Carli Babel palette. Thank you so much to Stacey who ordered this for me. I absolutely love it. I love every single shade that's in it. It is so beautiful and creamy, so pigmented. I love it. So if you want to know how I created this look using the Carli Babel palette, please keep watching. So I just realized my microphone wasn't on, but luckily I only just filmed my foundation, and for my foundation I use the Estee Lauder Double Wear in 3W120. If my microphone was on, you guys would have heard how much I actually hated this foundation. I bought it a few months ago and every time I use it I just don't like it. It just sinks into my pores if I get a little bit sweaty. It separates on my skin because it dries so hard. I don't like it, but because I had BB cream on, I am hoping that it will work a little bit better. So now I'm just moving on to my trusty Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade 20 and just putting that all underneath my eyes. This is the worst part that I hate about this foundation, is when I put my concealer on, it just separates from underneath my eyes and then I get a mark between where my concealer is and where my foundation is. But I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that having BB cream underneath works a lot better. So I'm just working with this really fast because I know how fast the foundation dries, so as soon as I put it on I'm going to blend it out. So that worked a lot better today than it did the other day when I did this. I think the BB cream on underneath actually really helps. If you have a primer, I'm sure that it works just as well, but I never ever use primer, so BB cream is just going to have to do. Look at how brightening this concealer is, I love it. So now I'm just going to quickly fast forward through my eyebrows and move on to the Carli Babel palette. Okay, so moving on to the palette, I am so in love with this. I am obsessed. So if you don't know what the Carli Babel palette looks like, it is like this. It's got some beautiful eyeshadows here and 4 highlighters. The highlighters I am like obsessed with. I'm obsessed with this whole palette. I have never been so in love with every single color in a palette before. Like literally every single color in here is amazing. I would say that Carli is medium skin tone, and that's probably the reason why I really like this palette, because it is medium skin tone friendly. Like every single color in here is amazing. Not just medium skin tone friendly, but any skin tone can use this palette. That's why I think it is so amazing. So I'm just going to create a really simple smoky eye. This is a look that I wore a few days ago and I got so many compliments on it and I just love it. It is so quick and so easy, and you only need to use a few shades in this palette, and I am so obsessed with it. So I'm gonna start off building my crease with this shade here. This is a really beautiful transition shade and I'm just building that in my crease. Carli is just such a beautiful girl and she's so inspiring, and her eyeshadow game is always on point. So I'm going to make sure I blend this out as much as I can before I start adding more colors. And then I'm going to add this first shade here just underneath my brow bone. And blending that in to the first shade. Next I'm going to take this shade here which is next to it. This doesn't have much of that plum undertone, so I'm just going to add that on top just to neutralize the crease a little bit. And then on a flat shader brush I'm going to take a mixture of this shade here and this shade and put that all over my eyelid. These are really beautiful gold eyeshadows, but they're not too yellow undertoned, so they're really neutral, really sparkly. So because it's very neutral undertoned, it will go really well with this look because I want it to be day appropriate. And I'm going to take this top shade here and put that on my inner corners. And then I'm going to add a tiny little bit of this bronzy shade just on the center of my eyelid, and I'm just lightly packing this on just to give the color a little bit more dimension, but I don't want this to be the main color. Taking the blending brush again, I'm just going to add this dark plum shade on the crease and just darken it up a bit more. The way that the gold and this color blends is just so beautiful and so seamless. I love the way they look together. Carli does this thing where she blends her eyeshadow a little bit up, kind of like a winged eyeshadow, I would describe it as. I don't know how she does it. Like, I can't do it because I don't have much of a gap between there, but the way she does it just accentuates her eyes so much and it's so beautiful. So I'm just taking this shade again and adding it back onto my eyelid. And then just blending it through a tiny little bit. So I wore my eyeshadow like this a couple of days ago and that's when I got all those compliments on my makeup. I absolutely love it like this. It is so day appropriate. But today I'm just going to darken up a tiny bit more with that plum shade again and just add it to my crease just to create a little bit more drama to my eye. And I'm just focusing that just on the very outer part and darkening up the crease in that part as well. This is also going to make my eyes look a lot more round. So that is also what I'm going for. I'm just going to leave it at that. You could go darker if you wanted it to be more dramatic, but I just want a little subtle drama and that's perfect for me. Okay, and then now I'm just going to do my winged eyeliner and put some mascara on. So I'm just using my Essence eyeliner pen in the waterproof formula. So once I've mapped out my wing, I'm just going to use my BOE liquid eyeliner to go over it. Okay, so they're not exactly even, but that's as good as it's gonna get. And I'm also going to add this shade here just on the bottom lash line. Now I'm going to do a layer of my Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara and my Benefit They're Real Mascara on top. And for my lower lashes, I'm using my Maybelline The Big Eyes Mascara. And then just to complete the eyes, I'm using the number 110 Amazing Shine lashes, which are just really short and natural, but will just fill out your eyelashes a little bit more. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more of my Benefit They're Real Mascara just on top, just to blend my lashes together with my falsies. So that's the eyes done. Moving on to my face. For my contour, I'm using the Maybelline Master Sculpt Contour shade, and I'm just going to put that on the hollows of my cheeks. And I'm also going to bring that on my jawline here. And my double chin. Moving on to bronzer, I'm using this shade here from the Balm Voyage palette. Carli always looks super bronzy. She is like bronzing goals, honestly. And then in her palette, I'm just going to take a touch of this gold shade and put that on my cheekbones, just where I put that bronzer. I'm just taking like the tiniest bit, just to make my bronzer look a tiny little bit glowier. And then for my blush, I'm taking this NYX blush in the shade Mocha and just using a dual fiber brush to put that on the apples of my cheeks. And then onto highlight, I'm going to take a tiny bit of Benefit's High Beam on the top of my cheeks and then use the Carli palette on top of it. I just want this to be really, really intense because I love the highlight shades in this palette. This is a prime example of where the Estee Lauder comes off. Like everywhere I've dotted just took off the foundation, so luckily we're going to go over it with powder anyway. Okay, that just completely ruined my foundation, so I'm going to pack on the highlighter on top. I'm going to start off with a fan brush and use this gold shade here. This is a beautiful highlight for medium skin tones. And I'm just going to pack that on top of Benefit's High Beam. And I'm just going to go in with the yellow powder from the AC on Tour kit just underneath my eyes, just so that highlighter has something to blend into. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's like a gap in the highlight just here, and that's where my foundation came off because Estee Lauder Double Wear is just crap for layering on other liquids on top. So I'm going to pack on more highlight, just cause. This time using a tapered highlight brush, I'm going to take the second highlight shade and put that on top. So for my lips, I'm going to keep it very neutral and use Chi Chi's lipstick in the shade Checking In. So that is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial using the Carli Babel palette. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.